Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3. My name is Eddie Fisher, and I'm just playing games with my kids. All right, so today I'm actually only joined by Lucas. Lucas, how's it going?
Going good.
Yep, it sure is.
Yep.
So, poor little Elise. She, I don't know, got really sick over the night. So, she's just upstairs resting and chilling, and we'll just hope she just starts feeling better. But at the same time, that means Lucas and I will get a chance
to talk about the NHL.
Let's talk about NHL. Because so as you mentioned, we mentioned last week, it was everyone's birthday, and apparently not just yours and not just Elise's, but like a ton of other people that I know. So happy birthday to like everybody.
Yes,
apparently.
Happy birthday.
But on your birthday, you got a new game. But I'm gonna start this off by saying, dude, how was your birthday? You get to kind of celebrate it twice.
Yeah, it was the best birthday of my life.
Of your whole life.
So far.
Okay.
I'd say.
What made it the best birthday of your life?
First of all, on Sunday, which was my actual birthday, I got NHL 23, which I have been wanting forever.
Yeah.
Like, since it came out.
Well, and we had an old version of the game, so 23 is a big upgrade for us.
Yes, because we had NHL 18.
Yep.
So.
That was it? That's the only reason your birthday was good?
Nah.
Oh, darn.
Because we went to Pizza Ranch.
Yeah.
I found out that I am going to Cedar Point next Wednesday.
That's right. That's the big surprise.
So next week I won't be here.
Well, I mean, you're not going on. Are you going on like the weekend? You're going in the middle of the week?
Yeah, we're going on Wednesday.
Oh, all right.
So
that's fun.
I won't be here next podcast.
I got to tell you that your mom is probably so excited that you love doing these big rides and all that kind of stuff, because I don't, and she loves that stuff, and she needs a ride buddy. So you're it.
Yes. I want to go on Millennium Force.
Is that like the one? You and Mommy watch roller coaster.
Two Shivering Timbers.
Two Shivering Timbers? Like two Shivering Timbers tall?
Yeah.
Oh. For those of you who don't know, Shivering Timbers is like the big old school wooden coaster here in Muskegon.
North Muskegon?
So
Muskegon County, I think.
What's like what other stuff have you guys checked out? Because I know Mommy watches a lot of she'll watch a lot of like point of view roller coaster stuff. She's been on a ton of this stuff. She's been to Cedar Point many times. Anything else you're looking forward to while you're there?
I don't know. I don't want to go on Top Thrill Dragster. I can tell you that.
You don't want to do that?
No.
Why not? Because it's so tall?
Yes.
But you're about to get on two Shivering Timbers tall.
Which is only 300 feet.
How tall is Top Thrill Dragster?
400 feet.
Oh, you can do it.
I'm not doing it. Because my mommy told me that sometimes it doesn't have enough speed and it just rolls right back.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like any of that. I did the craziest thing I ever did. So I went on Zach Zuber when I was a kid. Didn't really care for it. I could probably do it nowadays, but I'm afraid of heights. So that does not help.
I was until I went on Shivering Timbers.
And it's good that you did it younger, because I think if you do that stuff when you're a little bit younger, you lose a lot of the fear easier. I know that sounds crazy, but like I used to jump bikes when I was younger, like off ramps and stuff, and it was awesome.
Really? What is it like, the AFV finishes?
No, I landed and we were fine. But I would never try that as an adult. And I didn't do it a lot as a kid. Like I didn't go to the little BMX track that we had all in the park, which was really cool. But if I would have done, I would have had more confidence as a kid to do that, and would have been less scared, and I would have been willing to try it. But as an adult, as I didn't get super used to it, it's terrifying to me. Like just ramping off, getting some mad air on a bike.
Yeah. To me, that sounds a little crazy and scary at the same time.
I tell you what, though, I'd go watch an MX race because I think it's really cool. Like, I think the rhythm of really nailing the goose on a jump and like just getting a smooth landing to keep your momentum going and stuff. I think that rhythmic feel of like a supercross race is really neat. But all right, what else for your birthday? You did Pizza Ranch. You got some cool stuff. Anything else you want to mention?
I got $50 in cash.
You're so rich, man. So rich.
Wait, did I get more?
I don't know.
I think it was just 50.
Could you even get more than $50? That's so much money.
I don't know. Last year I got a $50 bill.
It's pretty nice. Oh man, I'm just thinking about things I bought. Buddy, I bought a Pro Fingerboard today. Those
Nice.
It's so dumb to think about how expensive those things are. It's like the price of a video game.
What?
On the low end, by the way.
What?
You could spend like $200 on a very professional fingerboard.
What?
I know.
That's too much. Pricey.
That's too much. I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
But I went a little far because I had to do it. Tech Deck made their Pro Series, which is like their, like, hey, we made something that's close to Black River, which is like the top of the line brand. And I was like, you
Wait,
know, and it's
really?
got Revive. It's the Revive Red Lifeline board. They've, oh crud, what's his name?
no, not Johnny Geiger.
No, Johnny Geiger's pretty cool though. Andy Schrock
Yes, Andy
has
Schrock.
always wanted Tech Deck to do his Red Revive, and they did the Pro Series, and that was the one I said, well, this is fate. I've always wanted to try a Pro Fingerboard, and I was like, oh, cool, Tech Deck made one. That's pretty neat. They made their. I'm going to get a little nerdy for just a second. They made all of their equipment of the board very similar to high-end brands with different types of wheels, but like the cost of the whole complete set with a box that you can trick and grind on with a really nice tool with a filer cost the same, all of that, as just the trucks, no wheels, no deck, no grip tape, no anything else for a professional fingerboard on the high end. So it's ridiculous.
You definitely got nerdy there.
I did. And that's as far as I'll go with it. I'm excited to have it show up in a couple days and really give it its go.
Hey, Daddy, we're also joined by the dog.
Yeah, but she's just sleeping on a big old beanbag.
She's not sleeping.
She's chilling. She's happily
going
there.
to.
Lucas, let's talk about it. Elise isn't here to stop us. Let's talk about NHL. And I'll kick it off by saying, oh, I forgot the NHL 23 plays so good.
I know, it's kind of hard to get used to.
What's hard to get used to for you?
Well, it's just like the newer feeling, I feel like, because it's like you go from NHL 18, which is, just
good.
kind of more, I don't know how to explain
I would
it.
say 18 is more stiff,
Yes.
like the way that your players move around. And I think 23 gives a lot more life to the animations, which really helps the feel of just skating on the ice.
Yes, for sure. That's what I mean by, like, it's a big difference for NHL 18 and NHL 23. Because, we got 5 years of upgradance. So
Of upgradance.
I just made a...
You just made that word up, but I'm gonna roll with it because it sounded fun. Yeah, I think so. We played it a few months ago when my buddy Dan brought it over, and I instantly. So we usually play every year. Every year, one of the guys will pick up the hockey game or rent it or something so that we can play because we play NHL every time we get together.
Wait, so you've played NHL 19, 20, 21, 22, 23?
Yes, I played all of them.
Wow.
Not to a huge extent, but we've touched every single one of them. 22 we rented from the library, right? That's the one we tried.
Yep.
But like when we played 23, I was like, dang, this feels pretty good. And I know some people who like follow hockey and are into it,
Yeah.
kind of dropped off for a little bit.
They did?
Yeah, so with sports games, a lot of times what will happen is you'll get a really good year and like, man, this feels good. Like NHL 2014, phenomenal back in the day. Best one for the longest time. 15 is when it came out for the PlayStation 4. And it was kind of like they had to rebuild the game again. So you lost features. It didn't feel quite as good. And it took till, I don't know, like it took a few years for that to be like, okay, this is pretty good again. And 23, I think, is the new, like, all right, this is what this game should be. And then it'll probably be like another 3 years before we go, okay, this is NHL. And that's how sports games feel, because they come out every single year. They don't have a whole lot of time. You don't even get a full year to make the next one, because you got to get that thing out. So it takes a few years to really implement all the ideas they want to do.
So like the people that like make the NHL games, they're like, okay, so we just got this one out. Let's start on 24 right now.
Yes.
So it's,
because you got to think, they got to launch that game in a few months. Those come out in like September typically. So because they're trying to coordinate it along with the launch, or not the launch, the start of like the preseason.
Yes.
And like the season start and everything. So, we get to finally have an NHL game that has ones. You want to tell people what ones is?
It's basically 1v1v1.
V1, not B. Versus. That's what that V is. 1v1v1.
Okay, 1v1v1. And it's the same goalie. He's not an actual goalie. He's a made-up goalie. One net, half of a rink, half of just a frozen pond.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just trying to get the most goals.
Yeah, it's exactly that. And I think it was a really cool addition to the game.
That's kind of like my elevator pitch that we talked about in the last one.
Hey, you're remembering things. My elevator pitch of ones would be, I guess, yeah, that's really not, it's harder to break it down even more than that. 1v1v1, most goals win. And honestly, and I would end it by saying, this is how I would play if I just had a couple buds on the ice. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really fun because when we rented out NHL 22, I played ones and I got really hooked on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't want to play anything else but ones.
I thought you played more, what's the 3-on-3 one called?
Threes?
Oh, threes.
No, I didn't really play a ton of threes.
Because that was kind of like EA taking their hockey mechanics but making it a faster-paced arcade game, which was kind of cool.
But it's like you're the Fridge Raiders against like all the NHL teams.
I'm just going to say Fridge Raiders, great name.
Yeah, but what city are they from?
It doesn't matter. Their name is the Fridge Raiders.
I know, it's pretty cool. It's a good name because it goes along with Garfield. Garfield, Fridge Raider.
Oh, I guess.
He raids the fridge.
What else have you done? You started doing Be a Pro.
Yes, my Be a Pro career mode. I'm hoping kind of looks like me when I'm like 23.
Okay.
Like darkish kind of skin.
You hope you have a really nice tan.
Yeah.
Like, oh, just hope I get a really nice tan for when I go to the NHL, play indoors, fully covered.
Yeah, and then so back to my Be a Pro career. I know that was kind of weird.
It's okay. Keep going
into that. So in Be a Pro career mode, you just make a character. Then you draft yourself on a team in the NHL, CHL,
okay,
OHL, any other leagues.
Yep.
And pick your age. Oh wait, I already went over that. And then you just play a whole season as your one character. There are shifts.
Let me ask you this: because I played a little bit of Be a Pro a long time ago when it was, I can't remember. It was a long time ago. I didn't play much of it after that. The first game had it. It was a cool mode, but what I liked about it is it taught you how to play your position better. Does it still do all those call-outs like it's got the arrow saying like you need to get in your zone and all that kind of stuff to like teach you how to play, say, left defense?
Yeah, like the million arrows that's like, go to your bench, or and it warns you like offside, and it's just a red one. It's like,
well, that's the on ice trainer. That's a little different.
Oh, I always use the on ice trainer.
Do you always use it? Because you never did before.
Yeah, and then I wanted to get a little better, so I turned all that on.
So do you know you can customize it to only be certain things. So if you just like it to just be the offsides call out, you can just do that. Or you could have it be on the targeting on the net and offsides. Like there's a lot of customization you can do.
I just have them all on.
That's too much stuff, I feel like. Because not only do you, like every time you aim your stick, you get like where you're pointing, where the ball's going, the strength of the pass. Like there's a lot. And it's a great tool.
Yeah, like, and it says, warning, you have weak passes, weak passes, weak passes.
Yeah,
weak
you'll get the
passes.
feedback on your above your head when you do something good or bad. Like, oh, you got a check mark for doing a really good wrister, or like a weak pass or something.
Or like blocked shot, like right when you shoot it, it's a blocked shot.
Yeah.
That'll get that. And Be a Pro career mode, that just knocks off your XP.
Well, that's the whole thing. Be a pro is about learning how to correct those things, and that's your coach, like in the game, is saying, hey, this is what you got to work on. And that'd be like real life. If all you did was shoot shots right into a guy's pads, that ain't going to work.
Or in this case, a shooter's legs.
Yeah, same thing, yeah.
So let's talk about the playoffs.
Sure, the actual playoffs?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What are you
Like
going to talk about?
A month ago, major disappointment for the Bruins.
Yep.
Major upset for sure.
Mm-hmm. But the Panthers are out now, right? Or are they still going?
They're still going.
All right. Maybe they'll take it.
I don't.
But your backup team, because was Bruins your number one pick?
Yes.
And then your backup team was the Kraken.
Yes. They got knocked out by the Stars 4-3.
Man, that's crazy.
But the final score in that game was 2-1.
So who do the Stars play next?
Knights. Golden Knights.
So you're rooting for the Golden Knights now.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It'd be cool if they got one. I remember the first year they were in, they made it to the finals. And honestly, I would have
The
been,
Caps took it, though.
yeah, I would have been okay with either of those teams winning, because it's like, oh, okay, Caps, and like they've deserved one for years. But it would have been really cool to be like, here's your first year and here's the Stanley Cup. That'd have been awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, all the guys are, like, kind of freshmen. They, like, make it to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, holy crap, we're in the Stanley Cup finals.
What?
And then they're like, oh, never mind. We'll just go home.
Yeah, just go home. Just be sad
Losers.
and depressed. Can I talk about my game?
Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. You know how good Zelda is?
I mean, if you want.
It's pretty good if I want. No, it's okay. I don't really like Zelda that much.
It's okay.
No, so I'm kind of two minds of it, to be honest with you, buddy. Breath of the Wild, I thought was an incredible experience.
Yes, I feel like Breath of the Wild is kind of my favorite. Of watching,
In your very slim knowledge of Zelda?
of watching you play it.
Oh, all right. Well, okay, so Breath of the Wild, I think, really changed the game for Zelda in a way that was really interesting, but not necessarily what I wanted. And I'm going to say that by saying I remember saying this is like my favorite Zelda. And there's reasons for that. I think Nintendo does a really good job of streamlining things that I find really dumb in other games, like all the cooking and crafting and what was I going to say? Like the gear and all that stuff. The fighting's the same as it's always been for the most part. It's just a lot of really basic attacks and whatnot. The fighting's actually better in Breath of the Wild and Tears, I think. But the thing that's weird about Tears of the Kingdom is it's built on the same engine. And my hope is that in the future, Zelda games will be that big open world like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, because I think the world in itself is really interesting in these games. They're designed so smartly so that everything is interesting. Like you're standing on this hill, there's something over there and you just want to see it. It's not a checkbox in a menu like every other open world game. The world is alive, it's organic, and there's people around it and it's super exciting. And Tears of the Kingdom still has that, but my ideal game would be all of that kind of stuff, but something that's more linear in storytelling and dungeons, because Tears of the Kingdom,
I love dungeons in games.
Yeah. Well, and in Tears of the Kingdom, it's set up almost exactly the same as Breath of the Wild. You just have new tools to mess around with, which is totally fine. And I'm actually really liking the story, But the story is like in Breath of the Wild, you had these pictures and you're like, huh. And you would go find where those were in the world and it would click a memory in your brain like, whoa, I remember this. Because, so many years have passed and you're losing your memory because it's been so long. But like in Breath of the Wild, that made a little more sense. In Tears of the Kingdom, you go to certain spots on the map and you have this water, and the water shows you the thing that's happening where Princess Zelda's at, which sounds like she's in the past trying to change the future. I like the story that's there, but my problem is everything is set up the same. Like you do shrines still, and you get the story the same. All the armor I've gotten so far is exactly the same armor from the first game. I will say there's a ton more to explore. There's a whole underground to Hyrule now that's just insane.
Wait, there is?
Yeah, I found that the other day. It doesn't seem like it so far. It doesn't seem like it's going to be vital to beating the game, but we'll see. I've only beaten one of the 4 dungeons or whatever, which is another similarity. So like I love it. I think it's great, but also I wish they did more with it, which seems crazy because truly the entire system with the new abilities and being able to just like make a car and drive it around is pretty nuts.
Because it's like the Zonai powers it. Like
Yeah.
the Zonai fans or like the Zonai control thingies.
Well, and the interesting thing to me is that the Zonai, in this timeline of Zelda, apparently the Zonai created the world or the land of Hyrule. They founded it.
Oh, did they really?
But if Skyward Sword is the original story, Princess Zelda goes down as the I was going to say the ancestor of, but I want to say she's like the embodiment of, but she is was it Hylia? No, gosh, now I'm blanking on her name. Oh no, I'm a terrible Zelda fan. But she goes down as like the goddess basically, and as Zelda, they don't say it, but it seems like she is the reason they started Hyrule. Hyrule's the land that you basically will see come to fruition at the end of Skyward Sword, which is the first game in the timeline. And Breath of the Wild's not the first game in the timeline. I've got a book. We'll have to go look at it. But so I don't know. I'm in this for the story for sure. And Ganondorf is really cool in this so far. He seems terrifying and strong and awesome. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
Okay,
I love Zelda.
Speaking of Zelda, did we talk about the Splatfest?
We did. Yeah, we talked about that right at the top of last show almost. Power 1.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was me.
Drop
I'm sorry. I
comment
ramble a
below.
lot when it comes to games I really enjoy. And I used to podcast with friends and we talk about news and get really in depth with this stuff. So sorry for rambling. What other stuff do you like? I'm sorry. What other stuff do you like? That's not what I meant to say. What other stuff have you played or you want to talk about?
FIFA.
Are you still playing FIFA?
I don't know. Now that NHL's in town.
Yeah, you're probably not going to play anything else.
Yeah.
I will say this. You've had 3 games of minor league baseball.
Yes, that is fun.
You're 3-0, which is a pretty good feeling.
Yes.
You got a tough game coming up, from what I hear.
Yeah. They have like a couple of the best players in the leagues.
Yeah, I think you guys do too, though.
Yeah, because we have Gino. We have.
I think you're going to be. It's going to be a really good match, and you might lose this one, but I think if you do, I don't think it's going to be like last game where it was like 14-1. Maybe it wasn't 14. Was it 9-1? What was it?
12-3.
12-3. I had none of the numbers right.
Or like our last game before that, when we played the orange team, it was 9-0.
Yeah, and then the game before that was only 3-2.
Yes.
So I mean, and you barely won that one. You got the bases loaded, and Gino got a good hit, and then you got 3 runs. Like that was clutch. But that's how I think this. The first game, like I don't think there was a lot of people that did not hit balls in the first game. It was just a lot of walks to first or strikeouts. There was not a whole lot of action. I think it was everyone kind of warming up to how everything works. It's the first time they're getting pitches thrown by a good pitcher. So I think this is going to be a really fun one to watch on this week.
And right now, we can't steal home.
Yep, that's not going to change.
But in the second half of the season, we can.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Stealing home's pretty tough, just so you know.
Why? Because there's a catcher.
Because most of the time when you guys steal, it's because the catcher dropped the pitch and you're running away from him. But you're running towards him now. All he's got to do is touch you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you could jump over the glove and touch.
Yeah, you ain't going to be able to do that. I would just say be very smart about stealing home.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited. I think it's been really fun to watch you guys.
Yes. We have a good coach.
I think so.
Not like one that gets mad every time you throw
Yeah.
a ball.
Some people have different ways to express their emotions. I just don't agree with that one.
Yes. Wait, what?
I don't agree with angry coach. That's what I'm saying.
What, like the last coach we played?
Yes, the one you're talking about right now. Oh boy, he's drawing a blank on the thing he talked about 10 seconds ago. He'll get there, folks. Let's see. His brain's working. He's lost. He's lost it all. Yes, the coach from the last game. The one that was like, rah, 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 rah.
Yeah, like, you have to move on every play.
Yeah, I mean, what he was saying was right. It was just the way he was saying it, I think. So, yeah. I'm gonna definitely have to check out some NHL myself. That's kind of a gift for me as well. So, next week you're gonna be doing your Cedar Point thing. I'm gonna show Elise a new game that we'll talk about.
What is it called?
Don't tell her, but it's Disney Infinity.
Oh, I remember playing Disney Infinity.
I think she'll like it because she loves Skylander. She thought that was so cool.
Well, you'll have to get the octagon thingy out.
Yeah.
You'll have to get the octagon thingy out.
Yeah, that's okay. That's part of the whole thing. So, yeah, I don't know. Looking forward to spending some time with her if she starts feeling better, and you'll get to go have fun, and we'll have to finish Overcooked so that we can try and all play the big family game together and do some Four Swords Adventure.
Yes, Four Swords Adventure. I cannot wait.
And honestly, I would love for you to try a classic Zelda game. And okay, so I was thinking about this.
But why?
So you grew up in a world where 3D platformers and 3D adventure games were the normal thing, and then side scrollers are kind of the weird thing. Like when I watched you play Mario 3D World, I find it so odd you don't know how to hold down the run button and jump. But it's because in every other version of a 3D game, you would never have to do that. So I almost wonder, this seems weird, but I almost wonder if you would have way better time playing Ocarina of Time than you would playing a top-down Zelda game, which I think is way easier to understand.
What's a top-down Zelda game?
Like Link's Awakening, like where you see the view from the top. I think you'd be better at playing a 3D Zelda game.
Like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild's a little tough, though. I think if you played Ocarina of Time or if you played... I would say Wind Waker, because I think Wind Waker's pretty easy, but I think the sailing might get tricky. But
Sailing?
Wind Waker might actually be a really good one for you to try.
I like creating stuff. That's why I made like 5 teams.
Yeah, that is true. I sounds silly. I was teasing you last time about all the jerseys, but that's like my favorite part of making a team, is making a good-looking jersey and logo.
Yeah, I also like doing a goal horn and like making the arena.
I'll tell you, next time we have a moment in between everything, we should see how you do with a 3D Zelda game. That's not Breath of the Wild.
You know, I kind of want to try Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom is going to be way more crazy than Breath of the Wild was, though.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Dude, there's enemies in this game. The game is harder, number one. Everything hits way harder than it does in Breath of the Wild. It's just harder. And it drives me nuts because I just get my butt kicked a lot.
Yeah, like
I avoid a lot of combat, but...
Like in that rock thing where it just like eroded and it destroyed you.
Yeah, that thing didn't destroy me as bad in Breath of the Wild, but...
Yeah, because I remember that in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. You know, my 3DS has a version of Ocarina of Time that would be probably the one you should try.
You know, I want you to get me like a thing on the PS5 so I can play Hogwarts Legacy.
I know. I need to finish that game. It's weird. That game's story just didn't push me to keep doing the stories. It felt like it was always distracting me from doing the cool stuff. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. The game was cool, but it didn't hold it didn't hold its greatness the whole time. And it felt like it was just kind of throwing a lot of stuff your way. And it's like, yeah, but like none of this feels connected. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Something just didn't. I wasn't like, oh, I gotta go play more of that. Like the first few days, I felt like that. And I still think it's a pretty good game. But I wasn't driven to finish it like I was Jedi Survivor and stuff like that.
Did you finish Jedi Survivor?
Oh, yeah. We talked about that last week. I finished it. It was really good.
I can't believe you finished that in like a week.
Yeah, well, Zelda was coming, so.
Yeah, you really had to hurry.
But also, it was a really fun ride. I enjoyed pretty much the whole game. So
yeah, now you're kind of gonna be in the gaming cave the whole entire week, or whenever you finish.
Zelda's long, dude. I'm not even close to halfway.
Are you even close to a quarter?
I think main story, I'm about a quarter of the way through. But knowing how I was with Breath of the Wild, I'll be playing that for a long time in between a lot of stuff because I loved getting that. I did all 120 shrines and got the original Zelda armor, and then I went and hunted the dragon scales so I could level it up all the way. I don't do that in games normally. I hate grinding for stuff, but when it's something I really enjoy, oh man, I went all the way in. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, cool. Well, how about this? We'll try a cool 3D Zelda. We'll see how it goes. We'll have to get some
what's
overcooked.
What's a 3D Zelda game?
Like Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Majora's Mask.
Oh, I didn't know Ocarina of Time was one.
Yeah.
Wait, which one is that?
It's the one on the Nintendo 64. It's one of the greatest games of all time. I'm just putting it out there. I'm trying to convince mommy. Actually, the one I have 2 cartridges of it. Wait, no, I don't think I do anymore. I think I sold my gray cartridge one. Sorry, Sarah.
Wait, why
Long
are you
story.
saying sorry, Sarah?
So we have it. I'll show it to you. But honestly, the 3DS version's a really good version of that game. So we'll see. But yeah, we'll try that. We'll try and do some Overcooked and, maybe wrap that one up so we can try some new family games together. Next week, you'll be off on an adventure, and Elise and I will have a new gaming experience to share together, and we'll report back on this little here podcast. So
we are not done yet.
We're not done. Why?
I don't know. I was just gonna say something about Shovel Knight.
Okay.
I just love Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight's a really good game.
Elevated pitch on Shovel Knight.
Mega Man style old school platformer where you hit things with a shovel and gain abilities.
Okay, what do you mean by Mega Man style?
It has a very Mega Man feel. Outside of gaining abilities from the bosses, the way the game moves around and everything, I don't know, it feels very Mega Man-ish. I mean, you're not shooting a gun, blaster or anything, but that's kind of the idea.
Well, isn't Mega Man's arm just a whole blaster?
Yes, Mega Man's, he has a hand that can come out of it too. So he has 2 hands, but the other hand can go in, and then it's the blaster, and that blaster can read the abilities of other Mavericks. And you can, I shouldn't say other Mavericks. He's not a Maverick. He's a Maverick hunter. But yeah, no, it's really good. The makers of Shovel Knight are actually making a game that looks like an old school Zelda game, and I'm very excited to see that one come out.
What is it called?
I can't remember, so I'd have to look it up.
I can't remember.
No, it looks really cool. Let's see. I will type it in. Shovel Knight creators Zelda-like game. It is called... No, that's not... Here we go. Polygon's got my back. The game is called... I guess it really was that. It's called Mina the Hollower. I'll show it to you later. But it looks really cool.
Sounds like a dumb name.
Yeah, the game looks sweet. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll check out some new games. I think we'll wrap it up here. Lucas, thanks for taking the time to talk hockey and games.
I don't know. Is there anything
No, we're wrapping it up.
I feel like I have one more thing to say.
Okay, but if you can't think of it, it's okay to just wrap it up.
What?
Lucas, say bye to everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Maybe.